Well, in the last video, we were looking at Netflix and how they're looking for more content, more woke content to be exact. They're looking for action and no sad stories to the nature, which would be what they've been doing lately with all the content that they've been putting out on their streaming service. And they're just the company has just been in a rapid decline. They're losing a lot of subscribers to the nature there. But then we get this tale from Netflix that they're telling their employees, if you don't like what you see in our company, get the hell out. So is this eliminating the woke culture from the company, or is this something else? Yes, Netflix. Still touting a bit. Last we checked, I believe they're about 170, 180 a share on their stock, but it's still continuing to fluctuate and drop. They expect to lose another 1 million subscribers probably by the end of the year, maybe more. We have the investors looking for answers, and they're putting into a lawsuit for Netflix to answer what was going on. I mean, we had another video that, we discussed that Tubi TV, it had made a deal with Nielsen's to do their measuring for their advertisers on there. Why can't Netflix? Why can't all the other streaming sites do this? They don't want you to know what's going on in their company. They want you to stay with them and say, hey, listen, our show is great. Our show is fantastic. Come watch it. But a lot of the stuff is garbage. I mean, there's some of the stuff I did enjoy on Netflix, because I'll tell you right now, I've already canceled my subscription. And one of the reasons why is $20 a month now. You may say, well, that's not much. Yeah, but when you pile it up to other streaming services that I have, it's still a lot on there. I'm paying for that much on top of cable. And it doesn't result to the amount of programs that I watch on there. Most of the other stuff is just old classic movies, which I could see pretty much almost on every other site, including Tubi TV. And Tubi TV, obviously is free. But then, we say one of the major problems in this industry, in Hollywood and these streaming sites and all that, is the employees themselves. And, they hire a lot of these people that basically are activists. They're basically from the woke culture, that they have their ideology and they want to push that onto the masses. But the thing about it is, when you own a company, as I've owned in the past, you hire people to do a job. If they don't like the job, you ask them to leave, because basically, you could take critique from them. But when they're telling you, you have to do this, you're forcing them, you must bend the knee and obey us. And I said, but it's not your company. It's not your company at all. You work for me. I pay your salary. Go elsewhere if you don't like it. And that's what we're here. And this is the confusion we're having right now with Netflix. And I got this story, and it's running on several trades, including the New York Post. Netflix tells woke workers to quit if they are offended, in a memo that has been put out to the company. And we're going to read a little bit into this from the New York Post. They're putting woke workers to bed in the light of internal dissension triggered by productions like Dave Chappelle's controversial stand-up special. Netflix has reported issuing a memo to its disgruntled staffers, underscoring that the streaming behemoth values the artistic expression of its content creators over each employee's personal thoughts, beliefs, and lifestyles. And any worker who doesn't like it can flicks off. As the employees, we support the principle that Netflix offers diversity of stories. See, I don't like that. Even if we find some titles that counter to our own personal value, depending on the role, you might need to work on on titles you may perceive to be harmful, the communique continues. If you find it hard to support our content breathed, Netflix may not be the best place for you. The note dispatched Thursday follows the ongoing personal protest of Chappelle, Barb's regarding transgender individuals. And see, the thing about it is, and let me put it this way, what Dave is talking about, and if you haven't realized, and I know a lot of my viewers out there are very intelligent, and you realize that everybody can be made fun of. You know, comedians can joke about everything. If you can't joke about one subject, then you can't joke about anyone. You know, that's the plain, simple truth. Comedians were fighting this for many years. You know, you Lenny Bruce and George Carlin and Richard Pryor. You know, and now we're going through it all over again. The Closer, which debuted in the digital platform in October, during the hour-long Chuckle Fest, Chappelle fired off a string of wisecracks about trans women's genitalia, says that the gender is a fact, and deemed that the LGBTQ community is too sensitive. And you know, it's not the whole community itself. It is a small group, like every other problem with the woke communities and stuff like that, that there are a small group are the ones that are the main protester, the rabble rouser, the people that are selling the wolf, as I say, the wolf ticket. They're selling the wolf tickets at the door. Shortly after the show's premiere, vexed Netflix staff employees staged a walkout in an event to demonstrate their collective disapproval of the comedian's digs. But the mutiny failed to sway away Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos, who maintained his support of Chappelle and continued to air the special. And as a warning to the remainder discontented cogs, the company's freshly disputed letter undermined its commitment to prioritize artistic expression. Entertaining the world is an amazing opportunity and also a challenge because the viewers have very different tastes and points of view, stated a lengthy proclamation. So we offer a wide variety of TV shows and movies, some which can be provocative. To help members make informed choices about what to watch, it added, we offer ratings, content warnings, and easy-to-use parental controls. Now, I could be okay with the parental controls. The ratings go a little overboard. Content warnings, you don't need to have content warnings, and I'll tell you why. If you're an adult and you have a movie, you don't need to content warn that, gee, there's going to be drinking, there's going to be smoking and sex, especially if it's in the title. You know, if you don't like smoking, you know, other people smoke. That's their situations. It's in stories, so what? You know, you have people say, well, I don't like to eat meat. Are you going to put up their meat eating on the? I mean, that's the next level. You know, anti-vegan in this movie. You know, this is where we get to the insanity, and this is why I say we need to abolish the MPAA, go to a basic rating system, just the basics, general audience, parental guidance, restricted, and that's it. That's all we need. That's all we need. Not everyone like or agree with everything on our service, said the broadcaster. While every title is different, we approach them based on the same set of principles. We support the artistic expression of the creators we choose to work with. We program for a diversity of audience and taste, and we let viewers decide what's appropriate for them versus having Netflix censor specific artists or voices emphasized. This is where we get to the point, and this is the cutie situation. Because now they're trying to make the emphasis, we're bringing in everything, and basically, you know, we're letting everyone express their freedom. But you got to be careful what you put in. Now you may say, so, well, you know, you shouldn't be against censorship if you go against cuties. No, it's not that situation. You have a movie that just literally is a sexual exploitation of children. Okay? And I keep asking this, where are the audition videos? Where are all the audition videos that they did? Where are these things? to prove to us that basically they were not there to sexualize. And of course, they're not going to produce this. You know, the posters proved it, the video, the movie itself proved it. And you have to remember, this could have been done two ways. One, they could have hired girls within the age group over 18 that looked very young. Ask the porno industry. They have plenty of them. The other way you could have done was you could have shot the scene, but from the look of the audience and not showing it, and then move back to them trying to, you know, at the bow after the music is over. Those are the two ways you could have done it. But they decided not to do it. And you know, you have the director that goes, well, I'm doing it to open up everyone's eyes. We already know that this is the problem. We know that this has been going on. And I understand you're trying to bring relevance that, you know, this is going on, but you did it the wrong way. Completely wrong. This comes from the same country, get this, the same country that has reduced the consent level to early teens. And on the other hand, they're banning adult sites in their country. That's right. Put it to that thought. And we have a video out on that this week. That France is banning pornography because they're claiming child pornography in there, but they have the movie Cuties or Les Mignonias or whatever we want to call it on there, created in France. You see the hypocrisy. You see the hypocrisy we talk about. And this is what it is. Let's final off on this. Netflix, which suffered a 200,000 subscriber loss in the first quarter of 2022, expects to see a decrease of a whopping 2 million audience members over the next 4 months. Also urged employees to spend our members' money wisely in the value behaviors section of the document. Elsewhere, the newsletter reminded laborers that the company does not intend to treat workers like family members, but rather like lion-hearted sportsmen on an award-winning athletic dream team, one that with each player can be benched or booted. We model ourselves on a professional sports team, not a family, wrote Netflix. A family is about unconditional love. A dream team is about pushing yourself to be the best possible teammate, caring intensely about your team, and knowing that you may not be on the team forever. You know, I'm calling bullshit with Netflix. And you have to understand that basically you have these situations that have been going on for quite some time now with Netflix. And you can see most of the programming on there is very woke. There's a couple of animes on there that I do recommend. Kotaro, you know, that Kotaro one about the little boy who lives alone. That's been very good. The Terra Roma, about the bathhouses and stuff like that in Rome. That anime is very good as well. Arcane, the Leagues of Legend series, that was also very good. The prequel movie of the Army of the Dead, the safe cracking one, which I thought was pretty good, not perfect, but it was better than the Army of the Dead movie. And I think that's the direction they should have gone originally with. I think they should introduce that first, if anything. And there's a couple things in between, little things. A lot of it is mostly anime. And that's one of the major reasoning I left Netflix, that beside the price point and the woke, is that I'm watching mostly anime on there. I get my anime fix from my Hulu, Tubi TV, and a couple of other sites that are free that I can look at. And I hate to say this, but yeah, the high seas also. Because basically, there is no respect for the viewers. See, they say, well, we want to respect the viewers, but you're not respecting the viewers. We've seen this. We've gotten it from Amazon with Lord of the Rings. We've gotten it with Paramount with Star Trek. We've gotten it from the BBC, which now is incorporated with Sony with this, with Doctor Who. You see where we're going at. We see what we're going at with this. You know, a lot of the better programming is coming from overseas and not from the UK. Most of it's coming from Korea, Taiwan, and Japan. Just saw, my wife just saw a really good, it was a bit slow between, but a movie called The Sadness. It was a zombie flick, really good. It's like a little mix of 28 Days Later with Train to Busan. It's really well done. You can watch it on Shudder. It's on Shudder. And the Shudder is cheap. It's only about $5 a month on that. And you get Joe Bob Briggs on there every Friday night. But you know, these are the things that happen. These are the things that are going on. When will this crap stop? You know, when you hire somebody, you're hiring it for the experience. You're not hiring for the color of their skin, their nationality, their sexuality, none of that. You're hiring for how they're going to help your company progress. And that is the basic simple. When you understand that, maybe you might get your customers back.